Hey Flosstube, I am Danielle and this is my channel Lovin' Stitchin', a channel all about cross stitch. Today is Monday, January 17th, 2022, and it is Flosstube number 15, I believe. So it has been a good month plus since I've been on here. This was not my plan. Life just kind of changed everything up as it usually does. But first I just want to say I hope that everyone has had a great Christmas. Thank you to everyone who has joined me within the past month and a half. Thank you for everyone who is returning. And if this is your first time checking me out, I hope that you see something that you like, and feel free to like, subscribe, anything if you want to. No pressure there. But I'm really glad that you've chosen to spend some time with me. So it is 8:45 p.m. I think, close to that, on Monday, and so this week has changed our schedule just a little bit. My kids' preschool is going to be closed this week due to sickness, so lots of sickness going around. And we have just recovered at my house from a good 3 weeks of being sick. So right after Christmas, the house kind of just got really sick and it just kind of circled around. So with little kids, that kind of happens. For whatever reason, I got the brunt of it. My husband took care of a lot of things, and we were both working during that time, so kind of tag teaming as much as we could because he got a little sick as well, but thankfully we are on the other side of it. Still coughing a little bit here and there, but for the most part doing a lot better. All right, something spooked the dog, so he is doing better. He hears the noise and he just starts barking. But anyway, so we are doing better, and the kids' school is actually, like I said, closed this week because of sickness, and so they'll be home this week, and we both have a lot of work this week as well. So I just wanted to go ahead and take the evening because I have some free time tonight and go ahead and share my WIP parade that I have been talking about and that I wanted to share a couple weeks ago, but just like I said, with being sick, was not going to happen at all. So I am definitely tardy to the party. I've really been enjoying watching everyone's WIP parades and seeing everything that is going on for the new year. Happy New Year to everyone as well, because again, I've not seen you guys for a long time. So I hope everyone has had a good start to 2022 and that they are avoiding all of the sickness and the craziness that has already started. So hopefully we can get through this and just be stronger on the other side. So like I said, today I'm planning on doing my WIP parade. I will hopefully be back by the end of the month with a normal video. I haven't had as much stitching time over the past month, but I do still have things to show. Some of that will be things that I work on that are WIPs that I'm going to show you today, and then I do have some finishes as well, and hopefully I can get down to my basement and do some finishing in the next couple weeks. But today is all about the WIPs. So I have about 50 maybe or so. I did make a list, but I have finished 2 that were on the list since then, so that there were 48 on the list. I've finished 2, so that takes me to about 46. But then I've also started new things, of course. So I don't know how long this is going to take, but we'll see. Some of these I don't have all of the information on them. I do have a couple at the very end that are like my UFOs or unfinished projects, so they're my longest WIPs that I've had that I haven't touched on. So hopefully you guys can give me some advice and motivation to keep going on them. But a lot of these are more recent ones because prior to finding Stitching with the Housewives and Flosstube, I was largely a monogamous stitcher. So I would have one main piece that I'd work on, and depending on the size, if I got tired of it, I might pick up a small piece like an ornament to try to curb that need for a finish, or just give me a break from the other piece. But then, when I realized you can have more WIPs, it's okay. There's no police that are telling you not to. I kind of went crazy. So I did many the last 2 years. The first year I did a new start every single day, and then last year I did it a little bit differently. But all of that has led up to almost 50 WIPs at this point. So I will talk a little bit about my 2022 plans at the end as well. But let's go ahead and start in on the WIPs. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a sip of tea because of the cough. I do love this cup as well. So they're in, I'm not gonna say no particular order. I did kind of organize them. There could be some strays that are out there, but I think so we're gonna start with the winter ones and then kind of go all the way till Christmas. And then when I start to talk about my plans, I've got the WIPs that I'm currently working on. So I'll talk about my plans and then show a couple more WIPs. So that's kind of how this is going to go. So I have unzipped all of them, so hopefully there's not gonna be a lot of noise for you guys. We'll just kind of see how it goes. So the first one, let's see what it is. Some of these I haven't looked at for a long time too. This is Little House Needleworks Winter ABCs, and I did not take them out of the plastic as well. This is on a mystery piece of blue 28 count that I'm working on, and this is what I have so far. So let's see if I can get a better picture of that. So that's what I have so far. I started this for Mania in 2019, I believe. And so I've just got us to now go below that. So maybe like a third of the way there, I guess. But a long way to go. And I do really like this piece. Maybe by next year I'll get it done, because I don't think it's going to be a winter piece that gets a ton of progress this season. So that's the first one. I'm not using called for colors on that. I'm using just what I had in my stash when I kitted it up. This is one I do hope to finish this year in the next couple weeks. And this is Winterology by the Trilogy. And I am stitching them separately. This is the last of the 4 seasons that I have to complete. So if you've seen my previous videos, you have seen how I have displayed them on a long piece that I got from Hobby Lobby, and then they're individually on different shapes that kind of match what the season is or what's stitched. And so I did actually, because I knew I wasn't going to finish these in time, I wanted to take my fall down. I did go ahead and paint the pieces that I'm planning on putting them up, so they are at least up on the board. They're just blank without stitching, but they still look okay. So right now I only have 2 of these done. So I've got the snowman and then winter, and then I have started over here on a third one. So there are 5. So I still have a little bit to go, and they are 40 by 40 in the size. So they're not that bad, but there is like full stitching here, and there's a lot of stitching here. The penguin will probably be the quickest and the easiest one. So I do hopefully we'll get that one done, and then that will be a series that I will have complete. I think I am stitching most of this with the called for colors, but I am changing it around a little bit as well. Okay, this is a teeny tiny start on one. So this is Seasons in Chalk Art Winter by Hands On Design and Priscilla Blaine in the 2016 Just Cross Stitch. This is the February 2016 issue. So I started this one for Mania this year, and I got super far on it. I think this is the bottom right corner. Bottom right corner. So I have a long way to go on this one. It's not gonna get done this year, maybe next year. I have done, let's see, summer, fall, and spring. Okay, so I've done 3 of them. And then there is still a 4th of July and a Christmas, which I have Christmas in here ready to go, but I just haven't started it. And there's also a Halloween one. So there's like 7, I think, total, but I'd like to get at least the 4 seasons done. So this will be the last one that I need to do. And then I'd also really like to stitch the Christmas one and 4th of July. I'm not so sure about the Halloween. I do have the Halloween one, but I don't know. Fall took a really long time. Okay, this is Floyd and Flurry by Stitching with the Housewives. This was a Mania this year start for me, and it is called for colors. On 28 count Monaco, I think. I'm pretty sure it's on Monaco, and it goes like that, because that's, so I just have the few snowflakes. Again, another one that's probably not gonna get touched this year, because we are getting close to the end of winter stitching, and that's just how it goes. Okay, this bag has a couple in it, because it is my Sampler of the Month series. So let's see. Which ones? I've got all of them in here, but I've only started a couple of them. So here's June, which I have started. And let's see if I can organize this. That's December. I'll go ahead and show you December, since I've got it right here. I've got a needle sticking out. That's December, and that's as far as I got on it. So I have started it on the house, but I have not finished it. So hopefully I can get this one done this year. This is September. They're all on the same fabric. So I started September at least, but did not finish it, clearly. And this is June. So the one I just showed you. So that's June. And these are with the called for colors. I don't think I've changed anything about these. So that one was June. This was the September one that I've started. These are all on 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco. And I don't know where December is. Yep, there's December. And I think I saw someone stitch the house like the really tealy or a blue or something. And so I might do that. I may have talked about that in a previous video. Changing the color of that house since it's a lot of pink and red. I like the blue kind of integrated into that, especially since that's kind of become a color of Christmas, is having that teal blue involved in everything. So one of my goals, which I'll talk about again at the end, is to finish all of those. I'd really like to have them all finished. And so I haven't done October or November as well. I kind of fell off the bandwagon in June. I think I finished July though. Maybe August. I probably finished August. I don't even remember. But I haven't. I have January. Is January over here? Maybe. Yeah, it's behind my chair. There's January. So that was the very first one that I did. So I got through at least till May, and then June I just stopped. All right, so we are getting into my spring stitching. So this was, I want to say a Mania start that I did, and this is Lizzie Kate 4 Seasons. I have all 4 of them here in the same bag, but this is the only one that I have actually started. So I started with this one in hopes that I'd work through them. There's summer, autumn, and then winter. And I would like to do all 4 of them, but I just have not gotten around to it. And my very teeny tiny start is right there. So 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco, a hodgepodge of colors, probably just what I had that looks similar. And then if I had the called for color, then I did that. So when I was kitting up a lot of my pieces for Mania, if I didn't have the called for colors, I would try to get them before Mania. But then some of them, if the color wasn't going to make that big of an impact for especially the variegation, then I wasn't too concerned about getting a variegated floss. So I'd use like a DMC conversion usually, or find something similar to that. Okay, this is Love Lives Here by Country Cottage Needleworks. I think it was released last year. I've seen some recent finishes on this one that are beautiful. And this was a Mania start this year, I believe. So far I've got the top border of this one, and hopefully you can see that. And it's on Coffee Tea Dyed Monaco, which is what a lot of this is on. When you're kitting up 30, I don't think I did 30 projects this year, but last year when I was kitting up all the projects, Coffee Tea Dyed Monaco is an easy way to go. So there is that one. Let's see. This is Lizzie Kate Summer Alphabet. And I have done the fall alphabet, and I got spring for Christmas, and I think I have winter. So I have all of them now, I just need to actually do them. And this was a Mania start, and I think I've only spent like, probably just that one day on it, maybe a second day, not a lot of time. So I've got A, B, and C. So a long way to go, but these, I mean, each one's really quick, so you can stitch these up pretty quickly. It's just a matter of doing it and getting them out. And when you have 50 WIPs to choose from, you know, not everything's gonna get touched. Okay, this is Blossom House by Little Stitch Girl. And I started this one for Mania, and I have the border done. And these borders, for whatever reason, I think every single one of these I've done, I've had to fix something. So I just finished Frost House. So hopefully I'll have that done, like fully finished for my next video. And that was my 3rd one. So this is actually my last in her, excuse me, last in her series. So she had a series of 4 houses. And that's the last one. So I want to get that one done as well to have another complete series. Wouldn't that be nice? Quite a novel idea to have a complete series. All right, this was a 2020 Mania start that I did stitch on as well for 2021 Mania. And so this was Liberty 1776 Little House Needleworks. And I love this one. I want to finish this one this year. I absolutely love it. And this is where I am at. So I've got pretty good progress on it. It's on, I think it's in Monaco that I didn't do the blue at all. I just coffee tea dyed it. So it must have been one that was in my stash that I got. And then I just coffee tea dyed it. So, I mean, did Monaco at some point come in a blue? I don't know. Because I just recently came across Monaco in the last couple years. But I apparently had it in my stash. It's definitely like it's an even weave and it's thicker. So that's why I think it's Monaco, but I don't know. So I'd love to get that one done. This is in a Dot Dot Goose bag. Purple's my favorite color. So when she came out with this bag, I had to get it. Most of these are in like the Amazon cheapy bags. Again, 50 whips. You can't have project bags for all of them, or at least the nice ones. All right, this was another Mania start. This is Little House Needleworks Seasons of Growth. And I do have all of them. And so we've got Seasons of Plenty, Seasons of Hope, which is spring, and Season of Rest. And so this is the one that I'm working on. I started with this one. Again, it's the first one in the series that I've done. And I have, oops, let's try to do it that way, the border done. And I started on the roofs of the houses. So that's not too bad. This was a start this year. And then I think I'm using the called for DMC, which I think it's all DMC. So these are some of her earlier charts, I would think. I don't know what year it says on them. But I think these are some of the earlier charts. 2006, yeah. So that's why it's DMC. She wasn't using a lot of variegated, I think, at the time. So, I mean, there's a decent amount of stitching, but I don't think it would take that long to get that done. And since I started with summer, maybe I can go ahead and get that one done by this summer and then start that series to try to get it done. I don't know. There's just, I want to stitch all the things, so I don't know. All right. If you can't tell, we've moved into some summer stitching. I don't have a lot of spring whips, I guess. I have mostly summer and Americana and way too much winter and way too much, oh, not winter, way too much Christmas, a little bit of winter. So spring and winter are my, not least favorite to stitch, but the lesser ones that I've stitched in the past. I'm liking them a lot more lately with the patterns that have come out, but I just don't have a lot of them so far. So I've got to build up on my stitching of those. This is America Little House Needleworks. I think this is our first start. Yeah, chart number 1. And so I started this one for Mania this year as well. It is also stitched on that same one as Liberty 1776. So like a blue coffee tea dyed, and that's where I'm at. So this one, I think I only stitched on this for a day, and I must have had a lot of stitching time because that's a pretty decent amount done on it. So I'd like to get this one done as well this year because I really just think it's beautiful. And my husband last year told me I need more Americana stitching in our house. So that's a goal this year, is to try to fill up on the Americana stitching. Okay, this is another summer one. Let's see if I can find the piece because it's in a magazine. It's in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. You guys have probably mostly all seen this one because it is a Housewives. There it is. Summer Daisies. And this was a Mania start this year as well. And 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco with the called for colors. I should not have lost that page because I don't know which direction this goes. Okay, it goes this way. When you don't have a lot stitched, it's hard to figure out what way it goes sometimes. So that's where I'm at with that one. And I don't think these ones take very long either. Those of you who have stitched it, let me know. Because I really want to get this series done as well because I'm behind on both of their Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher patterns for the seasons. And I know they're going to have another one this year. And I actually subscribed to the print ones this year because I wanted to get access to the previous issues on digital. So hopefully I'll be stitching some things from there. And I know I'm gonna love it and want to stitch it. but I've got the last 2 years I still need to stitch. So this is Happy Camper, What's in My Cup, Housewives. And I'm stitching this in 2 pieces actually, because I had a finishing idea that I wanted to do with it. So I have finished that one, the top part, or yeah, top part. And so I have started then on the bottom part. And this one I actually think is on Jobelin. I think it's Jobelin, just a piece of scrap Jobelin that I had. Since I'm stitching it in 2 pieces, it's a little bit smaller. So that one will be a quick finish. Should be at least. Just gotta get it done. Moving right along. I think we're over halfway there, maybe. This is a big bag. Let's see what we got in here. All right, I'm gonna have to cover part of this up somehow. We'll cover it with the stitching, I guess. Goes that way. So this is in a magazine, just cross stitch. These are in the 2006 magazines, and they are Prairie Schooler, and they are just like season charts. So this is autumn that I started with, right? Maybe? No, I did not start with autumn. Autumn is just open. I started with summer. I thought that looked wrong. Sorry, please hold. Okay, I can show you this picture. So this is summer, and this is the one that I started with. I needed a new start last summer, and this looked really small and cute, and I did not get it finished though. So that's where we are on it. In theory, this is full coverage. I know, those of you who stitch full coverage are probably laughing at me because this is like a teeny tiny full coverage. But because I'm not well versed in full coverage, this is full coverage to me, and that's where we're at. So I do have all 4 of these, and they're actually all in this bag. So I'll show you. This actually has the pictures of both of them. So there's winter, and then there's autumn. And I'm covering up the chart. And let's see. That one's got winter in it. Let's see what spring looks like. If I can find it quickly for you. Page 17. Here is the spring. So these are in the 2006 Just Cross Stitch magazines. Well, this is actually 2007, so it must have started in fall 2006 and then gone into spring timeframe of 2007, because there are 4 of them. And this is stitched on, I think it's a 32 count actually. And it's just like a beige even weave with the called for DMC. I'm sure of that. So it's in a very large bag from Amazon. And all of the floss came out when I pulled that out, so bear with me. Alrighty. Let's see what we got in the bag of goodies. Sorry for the crinkling. Some of these are in plastic bags. This is Trees and Bees by Country Cottage Needleworks. Another Mania start. That is, I don't know if I picked this one up. I'm gonna say that I have, because this is a lot of work for me to have just stitched on one day, but maybe I had a lot of time. And that's a lot farther along than I realized it was. I should finish this one. Look at that. I would not have known that I had that much stitched on it already. Okay, so this one's gonna be going top of the list, I think, to get done. Because I can totally do that. And that is called for colors, maybe? Let's see, we got steamed broccoli, jolly holly. Yeah, called for colors. On 28 count, coffee, tea dyed Monaco. I am a broken record right now as far as the fabric goes. Not a whole lot of variety going on. Some more plastic bag ones. This was 2020 Mania start. This is Wee Autumn by Heart and Hand. I have all of these. This is the first one. That sounds familiar. And I've stitched on it 2 days. So I stitched on it in Mania 2020 and I stitched on it in Mania 2021. But that is it. So that is where we are with it. And I don't have the other ones in here. I think this might be a 32 count. Coffee tea dyed even weave of some kind. So Not much there. It's called for DMC conversion probably. Oh, it calls for DMC. Okay, so called for DMC on that one. And I don't know. That tree was a bear, and it's not even done yet. Yeah, I've just done the branches. I don't know why it was a bear. Maybe because I didn't have a lot of time, so it just felt like it was a lot. I don't know. That one shouldn't be too hard. Okay, this is another one that's had like 2 days of work on it. Mania and Mania. So this is Country Cottage Needlework Sunflowers in Summer. And I've seen so many people stitch this and I love it. The problem that I had with this one when I picked it up for my second day of Mania 2021 was the floss colors. And I talked about this when I picked it up. So I had originally stitched it with Sunflower, I think this is the classic color work. So, but it has a different dye lot than what it was. So did it call for? I can't remember. It's been so long. Let's see. I've got all the paperwork. So it called for Crescent Colors Sunflower, which is what this is. So this is Crescent Colors Sunflower. But Crescent Colors, I believe, turned into Classic Colorworks. And so now Classic Colorworks, for whatever reason, this is the sunflower. So the dyeing process must be different, or they changed it. I don't know. But you can see this has a ton of variegation, and it's like got a little bit of like a pinky tone to it as well in there. Peachy, yellow, pinky tone. And I just did not like how it was showing up. So I found the crescent color that I had, and I don't know. Anyway, so I found this one in my stash, and I'm hoping it'll get me through, which I think it will, because there's not a ton more sunflowers in it. So I had to take the entire sunflower out and then restitch it. And then I also finished the border. So I think I only had like half of this done on the first time I picked it up, and then I got the rest of the border done. And I am not going to stitch the bottom words. So I'm going to just stitch like the first half and then bring the bottom border up to the bottom, or up to that bottom. Just bring it up and eliminate the words. So that's my plan, even though the words technically don't take that long to do. And I've debated if I'm going to do the words up top, and I obviously have not decided that yet. So over by the fence where the sunflowers grow. If you have a strong opinion one way or the other, let me know, because I could easily take that out and move the house up to where the border is and not include that. I don't know. So that's that one. Okay, this is a 4-part from a magazine. Oh, okay, so I got the full cover piece. And this is, I don't even know what magazine it's from. Probably just Cross Stitch. So this is a band sampler, and the magazine released it in 4 sections, so each season. So when I was looking for this, I wanted to do them not as a full piece, but I wanted to do them seasonally. And so I started with the fall one, which is the acorns. So I started with this part here with the squirrels and acorns. And I picked this up, again, 2 days in Mania, and that's how far I got. And this piece just has not been calling to me. It's on like a gray coffee tea dyed even weave. And I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I don't know. Maybe someday it'll call back to me and I'll really just love it. But right now I don't know. It's got specialty stitches in it too, and it's really pretty. So like these flowers, they've got specialty stitches in the, I don't know if you can see super well. But I do like that aspect of it, and I love the deer at the bottom. So maybe I'll pick it back up. And a very kind person from, I think 123 Stitch message board sent me all 4 patterns that she had taken out of the magazine, because I was looking for all of them, and I did not have all of them. Sorry for the noise, this one was not open. I knew there might be a straggler that I didn't get open. This is the Pumpkin Hollow Farms by Little House Needleworks. And I plan to stitch just the top part also on this one. I don't think my fabric was cut big enough to do the whole thing. But then again, it's actually looking like a really big piece of fabric, so maybe I could. Yeah, I could totally fit that if I wanted to. I might. I don't have enough done to make that decision yet. All I've got done is the border at the top. And I started this one for 2020 and picked it up in 2021, and that's still as far as I've gotten. So that day I did not have a lot. I think it is called 4 colors. I think I might want to change that house though. It kind of looks kind of drab, not drab, but maybe a blue house. Blue is like a teal blue house. That's also big for fall these days now, like the blue pumpkins, right? Would that work? I'm just talking through this. Give it a little bit more color, maybe. Food for thought. I think everything else is called 4 colors on that one though. All right, so this is Let's Talk Chalk by Hands On Design. It is the autumn big piece. I gotta get the cover for that. Okay, so I am doing the big piece. I want to do all of them, but I started this one with the big piece on the stitch along day. That was a good, I don't know, year and a half ago. It's on Jobelin, I think. This is Linda, I think. This is 27 count Linda. And all I have is the word harvest with my turtle needle binder. That is so cute. So that's as far as I've gotten. There's a long way to go on this one. But I at least wanted to start it with them, and then I just didn't pick it up after that. The only one that I have actually finished of this series, though I think I own all of them now, is the very first one that kind of got the whole series started. That was in a magazine, like a Hirschner's magazine, or online Hirschner's, I think is where you can get it now. So the very first winter one, and I do have that one displayed right now. But I need to do the other ones, obviously. Okay, you guys have seen this one recently. I don't know if I've shown my work on it since I've shown it, but we'll see. This is Farmhouse Christmas, Baba Black Sheep by Little House New Yorks. So it is a 9-part series. And I have done 3 already, so this is number 4. Maybe I've done 2. 1, let's see. No, I've only done 2. So this is number 3. And this is how far I've gotten on this one. So I think the last time I actually showed this one, I still only had part of the border done. So when I picked this one up, I realized that I had done, so this is one of the ones that I've already done. So something that I changed in these is, number 1, it's on a, oh nuts, I don't remember the name of the fabric. I really need to write that down. It's on a Jobelin from 123 Stitch. I don't know if they still carry it. I had to, I think, get more of it from eBay. So I will have to look that up on what this is on. I do have enough to finish the series now. But so I'm stitching it on this blue fabric, and then I'm also changing on the border. It's supposed to be all white, but I changed it to the one in between the like little snowflakes is a red. And so when I picked up this one to start it for Mania like 2 years ago, I did not realize, because I didn't look at the other ones, that I, in 2019, when I stitched those, was doing the red. So I had started doing white all the way around. So what I did is I went through and I covered up the white with a red strand of thread. And unless you look closely, you can't really see it. I was able to do a decent job of covering it up. So I didn't have to go back and fix that. So I'm going to keep these all together so that when I'm stitching the next ones, I remembered that I changed the border. But so far I've got the barn outlined and some snow, so I can start filling it in. So something I'd like to do is stitch some more of these this year as well, since I've only got, that's the other one that I've got finished. 2 of them done, 2 of 9. I'm very good at starting these series and then not finishing them. So I need to get motivated and get them done. Okay. Let's see. That one was a stray Christmas, because we're technically still working on fall. This is Heart and Hand We Blessings, or We Won Blessings. It was one that I started for Mania. I got pretty far on it. I was pulling out my fall stitching, and I realized that I had finished this one into a cube. So I've actually already stitched this one and finished it into a cube finish, and it goes on display. And I still think I'm gonna finish this one, and maybe I'll gift it to someone because I've gotten pretty far. I mean, I'm halfway through the pumpkin, and all that is just going back and forth and making sure you're doing it right. And then the border and the words. And there's a crow. I wonder if you can't stitch the crow. It's supposed to be a button. I don't know what I'll do with that because I don't have the button in this one. But so I think I will finish this one at some point, and then someone will be receiving that, on the receiving end of getting that one. Okay, another mania start from this year that has gotten hardly any attention. It's a very sad start. Is Harvest by Bent Creek. And that barn is really cute. I think that's why I decided to do this one. But I have that bottom part of the border done. So you can see it's just way over here. And there's a leaf. That's gonna go in the middle of it. So that's a real exciting start. And this is in DMC. Well, it might be a combo. Yeah, it's a combo. It's got some specialty and DMC. I think I'm doing it all in DMC though, because I don't see any specialty threads in there. And 28 count Coffee Tea Did Monaco for both of the last two. Okay, so we're still working on fall. This is Pumpkin Cottage by Country Cottage Needleworks. And again, it's had 2 days, Mania 2020 and Mania 2021. Are we seeing a pattern here? But I have finished the top border. No, that's not true. I still have some teeny tiny flowers to do at the top, but I've got the main part of the top done. So I can start working on the house and pumpkins and everything like that. I love this one. So I need to pull it out. It is, I am using called for, and it's 28 count Coffee Tea Did Monaco. Okay, Mania 2020, Mania 2021. This is how you end up with 50 WIPs. This is Little House Needleworks Fall Squared. And sorry for the glare. And it is on, I did not dye this. It is a Jobelin 28 count, and it is a darker color. I have no idea what it is. Mystery fabric, so we'll go with that. So I have almost 2 squares done. And the next 2 look pretty small, like they won't be difficult. So I just need to spend some time on this one and get it done. Buckle down and get it done, because it should not take that long, but maybe 2 nights to finish that one. Sorry, I'm gonna keep it in the bag. I think we're almost done with the fall, and then we can go on to Christmas. Okay, did I start this one? I don't remember starting this one, but why is it in here? Oh, I did. Well, okay then. Fall Sunflowers. Punch needle and primitives, stitching with the housewives. This one actually has a decent bit of stitching on it. Wow. All right. Look at that. You can see the barn and a fence. Cool. So that one should get done this year too. Not too bad. 28 counts. Monaco? I don't think it's 27 count Linda. I think it's 28 count Monaco. And called for colors because I do have the thread pack for these ones. And this is in a, I'll show you the project bag that I made. So purple, favorite color. All right. And I did find some little charms to add to some of my bags. So that one I put just a key that's kind of got like a flower on it to add some zipper pulls, I guess is what they are called. Okay, we're going on to Christmas. So some of these you guys have seen probably recently. Since we just passed Christmas, and I had hopes to work on some of them. Some of them I did work on. Some of them I did not. All right, so this is A Merry Little Christmas by Housewives. And this is on a piece of 28 count Monaco that I dyed. I did not do evening blue like they did. I can't remember if it was, I don't think it was denim. I don't remember what color, but I could not find evening blue. Evening blue was nowhere to be found. So I have the top part done on this one. And if I remember correctly, they say this one's actually a pretty quick stitch because you've got like the words, the box that says Mary, you do have to fill in, and then the Santas, which I think these guys right here, that would just be a really cute ornament. And I may, depending on how I feel after I stitch it, have to stitch it again and do that just as a really cute ornament because they are so adorable. Yeah, I love that one. This is a project bag that I made as well. It's a small size bag that I made. It was one of my very first attempts, so don't look too closely because there are lots of errors. But it is functional and it is pretty, so it works. This was one that I need to finish. I've only got one part left, and I'm stitching it with Kimberly Stitching on Instagram. She has finished hers. It looks fabulous. She did in a stable. So this is Shepherd's Bush in a stable. She did in a stable and 2,000 Years Ago together. So I have stitched 2,000 Years Ago, and it is in a cube finish by Vonna Pfeiffer, her tutorials. And so now I am stitching the companion piece, and it is in a stable. So I've stitched 3 of them, and I need to start the 4th one. So I don't have any progress since I've shown this last, but it is technically a WIP because I am stitching all of them. So I will show you the 3 that I have finished. So the first one that I did was in a stable, and this is on 32 count. I don't think I have it in here. That's one thing this year. I'm gonna get better about what I'm stitching things on. I can't remember what I'm not stitching it on, but it's a 32 count. Picture this plus, oh man, I can't remember. Okay, I'll just show you guys. And it's mostly called for DMC. There's a couple colors that got changed in there, not fully on purpose. And my back stitch is with 2 strands instead of the 1 strand. Because on the color fabric, because some of it was green, I thought it needed to be a little bit darker to where you could see it a little bit better. And so there's Mary and Joseph. So the last one is, let's see, their Sweet Baby Cat. So that's the last one. And it is actually, I mentioned this in one of my previous videos recently, that starting in 2004, I think, there's one of these in each of the Just Cross Stitch ornament magazines. So this one is in the 2007 ornament magazine. So if you want to get them, or if you already have those charts or those magazines, you can go ahead and stitch them. I did get the paper copy, not realizing that they were in those magazines at first, but I actually found that the chart is easier to read. The pictures are better because these are at a distance, and it's, you know, by candlelight, so it's not as bright for a picture, so you can't really get a good look at the pieces. So for me, if I am not sure on which color a symbol is, because sometimes they can look the same, or if my thread color, I'm worried that it's not the right one, I like to be able to look at the picture and kind of get a better idea of what it's supposed to be. And this pattern, you just can't do that because it's just so far away. You can't get a really good picture, but those pictures in the magazines are so much better. All right, this is Santa's Village, Mrs. Claus's Cookie Shop. So I did finally start one of these. I have 8 of them done. I've got 4 to go. I need to get them done. And this one I did have to put in a Q-snap. It is on 32 count. I don't have it written down. But it's a 32 count even weave. And I think, which way does it go? I think it goes that way. I think it goes that way. So I've only done the white. So I was having a hard time, for whatever reason, stitching in hand. So I needed to get my Q-snaps out for this one to be able to make it look better. And maybe it was because I was stitching white and so the stitches just didn't look that good. I'm not sure, but I was having trouble. So I got the Q-snaps out for this one. So I need to get working on that one. At least add one more to my collection because I did not make my goal or desire of getting one more added last year. All right, this is Stitching with the Housewives, Silent Night. I have not made any progress on this since the last time I showed it, but I do have a decent amount done. So this is the church. So I've got that one done. It's a 32 count. Please tell me it's written on here. I don't remember. Oh, look at that. I kept the sticker on it. Storm Lugana 32 count by Picture This Plus. So it's a really pretty gray color, and I really like it. It's a little bit 32 count for me. I'm still kind of getting used to 32 count, so it's a little harder for me to stitch on. And I do have to take my time when I'm stitching on it. So anything I'm stitching on 32 count takes a little bit longer for me to stitch. But I love this, and I'd love to have this one done by Christmas this year. And this is a project bag that I made as well. And I love that one. I think this is Walmart fabric from their Christmas. And okay. This is the Prairie Schooler Christmas Alphabet. I am stitching Merry and Christmas, and I've been working on this one for what seems like forever. So I just need to buckle down and get it done. So I have, let's see, I don't even remember where I left off. Merry, I know I got Merry done. And then working on this, Chris. So for this one, I changed the border color accidentally to, I want to say 3371. And so I'm doing the border that color. And then I also accidentally stitched all of the letters the same color. They're supposed to be different. So I decided to do all of Merry in red, and then all of Christmas in green, which means some of the colors are getting changed throughout here. And then I am going to do what they do down here with Christmas. I'm going to do Santa. For one, right now I'm doing the Snowman S. So then I'm going to do a Snowman S and then a Santa S to make it a little bit different. I've seen several people do that as well. And I mean, it's on the cover photo, so why not? Give it a little bit of variety. You're not stitching something over and over and over again like those R's, because R is in here, what, 3 times? So I've now stitched R 3 times. So give a little bit of variety. This is on 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco. And I do plan on finishing them on the houses that Priscilla did, but maybe a little bit differently. So not like a long board, I don't think. And because I am doing Merry as well, I don't know how to make that fit. That would be a really long board or like a really thick board if I did it. Maybe, I don't know. Haven't gotten that far yet. I did have an idea, I just don't know if it's gonna work, so I may have to come up with another idea. This is all the trimmings. This was a stitch along with Fat Quarter Shop last year that I fell off the bandwagon and did not finish it. So that's the finished piece. It was a mystery stitch along. And so you got one for 5 weeks, I think. And all I got done was week 1. I think this was started right before I got really sick in September, and I was sick for 2 weeks. And unrelated to the sickness that we just went through. And so I just didn't get it done and didn't pick it back up after that. So there's that. Just a couple more. Cool. All right, this is, I'm gonna have to cover up a pattern to show you the picture, I think, maybe. Okay, I can actually show you over here. This is Peace. I'm doing this one. It's by Hands On Design. It is in Just Cross Stitch, August 2015. So it's the Ornament Preview magazine. And I started this one, oh, and it was a Mania start in 2020, and I've not picked it up since. It only takes 4 colors? So it shouldn't be that much. But that's my piddly start on it. And it is a 20 count Monaco that I had. So that's an ornament that I need to get finished and put up. Okay, so this is a Vera Bradley turtle bag that when you open it up, there are several different sections. I think it's supposed to be like a hanging makeup bag, but instead I decided to turn it into a project bag carrier that carries like 4 projects. And I love turtles. I think I've mentioned that before. I will mention it again. You will hear it again this year because I have some turtle stitching plans that I will share with you guys when I get the information on it, because I don't have it right now. So this one goes along with the one I just showed you. I don't have the cover picture though, because I just have the, I guess I don't think I do, no. I just have the working copy that I printed from the magazine for this one. So this one is called Plenty, and it's a reindeer. And it's also by Hands On Design. And this is actually a Joblin, 28 count Joblin. So that's where I have out for right now. So I should probably pick this one up first since it's got a little bit more work done on it. And it's only 4 colors as well. And get it done. And then just pick up the other one. So I don't have any other whips in here. I've got kitted up things, but they have not been started. Okay, so that is a good 40 of my whips. I still have a good like 10 more to go, so we are not done yet. But I wanted to talk a little bit of my plans for this year. So let me pull that up on my tablet because I've got a little bit of notes. Make sure that I cover everything. There we go. So I have a lot of whips, as you guys can see. And I've got them kind of divvied up by season. So I think one thing that I want to do is every month, or in my current, not so much rotation because I don't really do so much of a rotation, but in my basket that I have that's next to like my stitching chair where I've got all the projects that I'm currently working on, I want to have one piece from every season going at all times. So that way I may not have it finished within like a month or a couple weeks or whatever, or within like whatever season that I'm currently working on, but at least I have a piece that I'm working on, and then when I finish, say, an Americana piece, pick up another Americana or a summer piece because those go together. Or if I finish a winter piece, pick up another winter piece and put it in my pile to stitch. So at least it's sitting there, I see it, and hopefully I'll work on it with it, you know, every single month I'll work on, or every couple weeks I'll work on something from every single season. That way I can add to my collection throughout the year for these seasons. Because like I said, like winter, I did not get a lot of stitching done for winter right now because I've been sick, because work's been really, really busy. There's just been a lot of time while I'm stitching winter. And I also stitch a lot of Christmas. So winter kind of gets put on the back burner. So I want to incorporate some more winter. Spring, I can get a decent amount of spring done. But there's also like Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day. So there's those holiday pieces too that I don't consider. They're not going to be out throughout the entire spring season. They're going to be out through that holiday. So I've picked out some pieces, one for each season right now that I'm going to show you here in a minute, that I want to be working on in the next month and a half, whatever, until they get done, hopefully. If I get bored with it, I'll just come from my stash and pick another one from that season, hopefully. But these ones I think are ones that are manageable right now. They're pretty small that I can get done, and then I can move on to the other ones because I really want to whittle down this whip pile somehow. And I think that's a good way to be able to do it, is to always have something that I'm working on while I'm also working on these seasonal pieces that I'm doing during that time. So that is one thing that I want to do. I don't have a problem with having so many whips. I think it's just when I look through these, there's so many that I want to finish and I want to be able to display that I need the motivation to go ahead and finish them. And then that will free up some more project bags because I don't think I have any right now. Anything new is going to be going into plastic bags. So I need to either make some more project bags or get some of these eliminated. So I'm thinking of going through and just finishing as many as I can. Some of the bigger ones, it's going to be harder. It's going to take me longer, and I know that, and that's okay. And then another thing that I want to do is I want to have as many ornaments stitched as possible. So I want to definitely at least do one ornament a month, and then maybe all of July only stitch ornaments. Whereas this year I did like the big and to all a good night piece, and that took a lot of time. So I didn't have as much as far as ornaments go. I think I did maybe 5 or 6 ornaments, which isn't bad. It's definitely good, but I definitely want to have a lot this year, a lot more. So one way that I'm hoping to do that is by stitching my way through a just cross stitch ornament magazine. And I've thought about doing this for a long time. I've just never actually done it because within each ornament magazine, there's probably a good 20 or 30 out of the 80. So I mean, that's not too bad, right? That I want to stitch. And so I went through and I looked. I think I have the majority of since was it in the 80s or the 90s that they started? I think I have most of them that I've collected. And I couldn't decide which one I wanted to start with. So starting in like maybe 2006, I think, 2007, there's a good 20 or 30 in each magazine. The older magazines, there's definitely some, but not as many. So I just decided to go ahead and start with the most current one. So I am starting with the 2021 issue. And so for my New Year's Eve start, I started with, and I'll show this in my next video, but I started with this one because it came first in the lineup. And so I finished that one. So that's my first month ornament for January. So I at least have one done for January. And then the next one that would be coming out of this set would be this one. But Colorado Cross Stitcher posted that for winter camp, which starts February, it's supposed to be a monochromatic piece. You start February 1st, finish by the end of the month if you want to be eligible for prizes. So I did all 3 months in the summer camp, and so I want to participate this year. And so I have this one kitted up. And let's see, it is, what number is that? 6. It is MTV Designed Christmas in My Heart. So I'm going to start this one February 1st, and that'll be my camp piece. But in the meantime, I did want to go ahead and have one ready to go for working on next, whenever I decide to pick up another ornament. So the next one that I want to work on, and like I said, I'm just going through the magazine, and page by page, if I find an ornament that I like, I'm going to kit it up and I'm going to work on it. And then just keep going. So the next one is this one, and this is number 2. So it is, I cannot say that. Who is this by? Punochka? Christmas Polar Bear. So that's the next one that I'm going to start working on. I haven't started on him yet, but I've got him kitted up and ready to go. That way in the next 2 weeks I can start on another ornament before I start in on the one for cross stitch camp. So I think, my husband was laughing at me as I was telling him this, because it says there's over 60 projects. There's really like 80, I think, in here. And so I went through and he's like, how many are in there that you want to do? And so I literally counted, and it was somewhere between 20 and 30, like 25 or 26 that I wanted to do. So at least it's like a third of the magazine. That's not bad. So that's one of my plans, is to stitch as many ornaments as possible and to work through 2021. If I get through that one, not putting my high hopes up there, but if I do, then I will go down to 2020 and just kind of work my way through them and see how many I can get done. So that's one. The seasonal pieces, I want to not keep up with calendar crates because I'm probably not going to be able to do that, as I just finished January, so you can't see unless I gently move it. December's still up, as you can see. January's finished. I finished it like 2 nights ago. I need to get it finished and put up. February's not going to get done, but March should be in the mail tomorrow, so hopefully I can get that one started and up by March. March can probably stay up through April if I can't get April done. And then technically I could put July up in May because it's, Americana, there's Memorial Day. So we'll just kind of see, but I'd like to get the ones done that I'd like to get done, and at least have something that I can put up to where Christmas is not staying up through January, that kind of thing, that fits with the season or fits with what's going on. So I'd like to at least get some more of those done. And then I do want to finish the Country Cottage Needlework Sampler of the Month. So I need to start working on June again because I have, like I said, January through May done. So if I go ahead and start on June now, that means I can then start on whatever month is next after that and get it done before the fall, because I think that I did July. I think I may have done August. So I know it's September I've started, but I have not finished. So those are my general plans. I have so much stash that I'm trying not to spend anything on more stash, at least until my birthday, which is the end of February. So I might make an exception for my birthday, but really try to push it out as much as possible and stitch from stash and WIPs as much as I can. I'm gonna need fabric. I may or may not need floss, I don't know. I've got a lot of that as well. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But I at least don't want to buy patterns. And so far I've done really good. So by the end of December, I was like, okay, let's go ahead and pick up some patterns that I want to go ahead and get them, and then see how far we can get into the new year. So I did pick some stuff up. I got some stuff from Christmas, so I'll show those in my next video. But so far in January, I have not bought anything. Surprisingly, since I've been sick, and I could technically shop on Etsy since I've not been able to stitch as much. I've just been living vicariously through all of you guys on Instagram and Flosstube. So that's how I've been doing with my stitching. So those are my general plans. We'll see how they go. Plans are you know, inevitably going to change. But I'm proud of myself so far for having not spent anything, especially with some new patterns that have been really cute that have been coming out. And I've just been like, nope, you've got enough. You need to work on what you've got, and that's going to be that. So as far as what I'm working on right now, that's in my basket at least. I'm going to show you the seasonal pieces that I picked out that are not in season because I still have some winter stuff that I'm working on. And I have one other plan. I'll tell you about that when I get to it. So this is hands-on design. Let's talk spring. And my voice is starting to get shaky because I've talked so much, so I'm sorry. Recovery takes time. Let's talk spring, and I started in on the small piece. So I want to get all the small pieces done, and I've got the hoops that I want to do them in. And this one is pretty far along. So it's on 28 count black Monaco. So it's pretty far along. See if I should show that up there. So fill in the spring, fill in the raindrops, those are filled in, yeah. And then finish the birds, and then that bottom part, the nest, I guess. So I think I can get this one done pretty quickly if I just spend some time on it. So that's the first spring piece that I've chosen to focus on and try to get done before I pick up more spring, because we're about to get into spring stitching soon. Hopefully I can get that one done before I pull out all my spring stitching. And then this is the, I'm not going to say summer piece because apparently I picked out a summer piece as well. This is the Americana piece that I picked out. So it's Liberty Lane by Manny Di Donna. It was a Mania start this year. And I got the blue house done. So this is 28 count, copy T-dyed Monaco, called for DMC. So I started with the small house, and the words are 1/1, I think, which I have never done. So that will be a new experience, which is something else I'd like to do. I'd like to challenge myself with my finishing, with my fabric, because I clearly have a specific type of fabric, so I want to challenge myself there. I do have something that's 36 count, which is the highest I've ever done, so I'm challenging myself in that. So that's something else I'd like to do this year, is kind of challenge myself in the things that I do. And so 1/1 will be another new challenge for me. So that's where we're at. So I'm going to try to work on this one and get it done before I pick up another Americana piece. And it's probably going to be one of the Liberty or the 1776 by Little House Needleworks will be the next one that I pick up, because looking at those, I really want to get them done. All right, so this is A Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher Magazine, and it is Buffalo Plaid Summer. So I've done spring, but that is the only one that I have done. And let's see, it's on page 28, supposedly, no, 25. Oh, look, that did not look right. So that is the piece. And I am stitching this on a 28 count. I want to say it's a Joblin, because that's what it feels like. And I do not have a lot done. It is like a green Joblin that I had in my stash. And so I've just got started on the border. I'm going to say that's the, I guess it really does not matter if it's, I think it's the bottom border though, but it really technically does not matter. So that's all I've gotten done on that one. These ones I am not stitching on black. I needed a change. So spring I stitched on like a pinkish color. This one I'm doing on like a greenish color. You can kind of see that the lighting's not really great because it is 9:45 now at night. Autumn I was going to do, or fall I was probably going to do on like a coffee tea dyed, more fallish color. Christmas I will do on black, I think, and then winter I was thinking of like a bluish color. So I'm doing them a little bit differently as far as like the colors go. So that's the summer piece I've picked out that I want to finish for summer, and I am using the called for colors because I have a floss pack on that one. Oh, I should show you this bag. This is a dot use bag. Look at that, Americana with the barn. I love this one, so cute. Okay, and let's see, the fall piece that I have picked out that I'm currently working on is Autumn ABCs by Little House Needleworks. It is on, I think it's coffee tea dyed, even weave from Hobby Lobby. It's a little bit flimsier, not as strong. But for this one, And I'm going to do some of the other ones on them. So it's a very thick piece of fabric because there's a lot in there. I've gotten down to harvest. So there's some apples and a flower I think that I need to do before I can go on to the next section. So, and I'm not using the called for colors. I'm using what I had that was close to it, and I will see what color that is here in just a second. So that's how far I have on that one. So I want to try to get this one done before I go on to any more of my fall stitching. Let's see what we got. I think it's this, I think it's Toffee. So it is Gentle Arts Toffee that I'm using for the letters. I think everything else is mostly called for colors unless it didn't look like I wanted it to on that fabric. But I mean the fabric, this is a lighter, this is a little bit darker of a fabric than what they did on the picture. Not by much though, but I did change that a little bit. And this is a bag that I made. So I think it's kind of bent up a little bit. I think it's fabric from Joann's. Okay, so just a couple more pieces that I have that I've been currently working on, and then my UFOs that I'm going to show you guys. Let's see, let's do this one first. This is Snowman Pedestal by the Housewives. It is a PDF that I have, so let me pull it up. Got a couple PDFs that I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to zoom in on it so I don't show the pattern. So that is the Snowman Pedestal. So I want to get this one done because this is what, as far as I've gotten, as far, like there's no stitching in that tiered tray. I do have some here and right there and then stitching down here. But I don't have a lot for the tiered tray, and so I want to get some more done. So this is how far I am on him. So he's pretty far. I've just got to get the snowman done. So I got the pedestal and then the snow all around him. So do the snowman and a few more snowflakes. Blue snowflakes, I think. And then there's a snowman here and there. So I should be able to get that one done before I switch over to like some Valentine's stitching and stuff like that. Okay. Let's move some stuff around because my table is covered right now. This is one, I guess this is the Christmas piece that I wanted to start to be working on right now. And I don't know how much work I'm gonna get done on him in the next little bit, but this is by Living on the Rainbow. They're on Etsy, and it's Santa's house. So I showed these in my haul a couple videos ago. And I've got like 4 of them I think that I bought. And so this is the first one that I am starting on. I know there's a picture somewhere on here of the whole thing. That's the pattern. Don't show that. Okay. So this is it in 2 parts, but it all goes together. So that's what I'm working on. So I have started on, I don't know. I've started somewhere in here, maybe. Where did I start? I don't think it's in the picture, but I've started on it. This is my 36 count that I am working on. And I started on the left. So that's how far I've gotten. 36 count is not that bad. It is a little bit harder for stitching in hand. But because I chose, this is Ivory Even Weave. Fabric Flare. So because I think I chose like the lighter one, it's easier to see the holes for me, which has been good. So it's not been too bad to stitch on so far. I think a darker color I might have a little bit trouble on. So lighter color is the way to go when starting that. It is all DMC, and so I'm stitching it all in DMC. Put that over there. And then before we get to my UFOs, one more. And this is another goal that I want to do. So again, being bad about starting a series and not finishing it, I want to start this one and keep up with it as best I can. So this is Fall on the Farm Farm Fresh, and I'm sure you've seen it literally everywhere because everyone is stitching it right now, which is awesome to see all of the different pieces being finished and everyone keeping up with them. So I don't think she's shown the next, which one's gonna be next, or released it yet, I don't think. And so this one is an exception to my not spending because I'm on a auto ship or whatever, and then counter crates I'm on an auto ship, and floss fix. So the things that I'm on an auto ship, those are excuse me, or I've pre-ordered, those are going to be an exception to that. Try not to buy patterns as much as possible. So this is the first one, and I am doing them on, gotta keep this on here, otherwise I will not remember. 28 count mushroom Lugana. And I've got floss everywhere because I'm in the process of working on it. So I'm hoping to pick this one up in the next couple days and get it finished because I'm almost done. So I'm very happy with how this one is turning out. I do have a mistake in this one. I think the board is 1 stitch too big. I did not fix it. It is going to stay that way, and I'm just going to adjust, and it's going to be fine. So this is all just a little bit lower, I think, than what it would have been or something like that. I adjusted it, and you can't tell, I don't think. So it's all good. So that is the last of my plans. Okay, so to finish up, I'm going to show you one that is a UFO. And as I was bringing this up from the basement, literally, my husband said, "Why are you bringing that up here? Because you haven't touched it in a decade." And that's actually probably pretty accurate. And it does have like some stains on it too, because it's just, yeah, I don't know. So I need to finish it because there's not a lot to it, but I don't even know how to clean this. So I'm gonna have to figure that out because there's some stains on it now that I'm looking at it. This is a sunset pattern. It's a kit that I got probably from Hobby Lobby, and it is footprints in the sand. And I stitched it. You know, is that on? That's on white. I did not stitch it on this. That's amazing. Because usually I stitch on, back then I stitched on the called for, like whatever came in the kit. So I did use all of the floss that came in it. I divvied it up as messy as that can be. And then I'm stitching it on a 14 count blue Ada. So this is, hopefully you can see pretty well. So this is where it's at. The biggest thing for trying to finish this one, so you can see, I just noticed like there's some stains in here. And then up at the very top, which the very top, if I finish this, so you could probably see some of, there's a little bit here. It's not that bad, or that noticeable, I guess. So the biggest thing with finishing this one is looking at the pattern and figuring out what I have done and what I've not done. Because I know, number one, I've not done any of the back stitching, y'all. Back stitching. But a lot of this is like half stitches. So all the water's half stitches. So I think I was currently working on this rock area. So I have not finished all of the rocks and the birds. So that's what I was working on when I put it down. So all of the top is done. Like there's literally nothing to do up top. Everything's done. All of the words are done. I just need to finish the stitching over in that corner. It kind of looks like I've got everything done over here except for the back stitch. So I really just have to finish this and the back stitch and some of the in here in the water. So like I said, the biggest thing is trying to figure out after 10 years where I am in this. Any ideas? Any advice? I don't even know. I don't know. That's why it's not been touched. And then also any advice on getting out stains, because I didn't even know that those were there, but now I see them. Oh, and there's more throughout the words. I mean, I guess you can, I've never watched my stitching, so I don't know how to do that without, like, damaging it. That scares me. Stitching scares me more than using a glue gun. Because I know some people are scared of using the glue gun, so that scares me more, though. I understand the fear because I have gotten glue on a piece, but I've been able to manage to handle that. Okay, this is the Mac, as we say in my house. I probably shouldn't say that on Flosstube. Never mind. This is the big one. We'll just say that. The big piece that I have had also for a very, very long time. And I need some advice on. So this is called Pageant Kings. So have you guys ever seen me do a piece this big? Unless it's like from my very early days of stitching. This is in Treasures Needlework. Does it have a year on it? I don't even know. It came from Cross Stitch Cottage. So this is the magazine. And this was given to me as a gift for me specifically for this pattern. And so I want to finish it because it was given to me as a gift for this pattern, and it is stunning. And I love it. But it is, again, one of those ones where it's hard for me to read. I looked at Pattern Keeper. I'm not very well versed in Pattern Keeper, and trying to scan this into it to make it work was just not gonna happen. So let me show you where I'm at. And I do have it on scroll bars because it's so big, and I'm gonna have to show you all of it. Loosen it up a little bit. So this is what I have done. Let's try to bring it in. There we go. So this top part, and these are all straight stitches for the purple around here. And then it's completely filled in, and then we go down, and I've got the borders done. There are beads that go all throughout here that I have not done, obviously. And I'll unscroll this a little bit so I can show you how far down it goes. So far, this one has stayed in pretty good condition. It does not look dirty, which that's a good thing. I probably should put like something over it to protect it. Let's see, goes all the way down. Okay, so that's where we're at. That's where we're at. I know, that's real attractive. So it's a very big piece. I still don't have like the bottom part of it done because there's a pretty big bottom part. It is on a 20 count even weave. And I have so much work put into this. But again, I picked it up last year and I think I put a good like 30 stitches into it. I'm making real good progress. A long time ago, I redistributed all of the floss that I had for it because there is a very long list of floss. When I first did it, it calls for Krynic gold. I don't know if you can see that in, so here's a close-up picture so you can see kind of the shimmery part of it. So that's in their faces. And so it does call for that shimmery gold up within like these scenes up here that I've done. And I absolutely cannot stand stitching with Krynic. I have not been able to ever figure it out. And so this was probably one of the first decisions that I ever made that was like, you know what, I'm not following the rules. I am going against what the pattern says, and I'm not gonna do it because I can't. Or I just didn't want to handle the stress. So I actually stitched one of these with Krynic, hated it. I pulled all of it out. And I restitched it without the Krynic. So there's no gold shimmer to it, and I am okay with that. I think it is so beautiful the way that it is. And there's back stitching, so this whole part up here is completely done. So at least that part's done. And then I've, started working in, and you can see where one of them's gonna be. And I think when I picked it up this year, I started working on this part here and put in some stitches, but not much. So this is where I need advice. This pattern, it's from a magazine that's from a long time ago. Obviously, I can't show you guys. But because it's such a big piece and there's so many different colors, it is a color chart at least, so I guess I have that going for me. And there's a lot of back stitch in here as well. And like I said, I haven't done the back stitch on the side borders yet. So I'm just not motivated to work on it because it's frustrating when it's hard to see what you're working on and follow the pattern super well. So I really have to be sitting down. It's got to be in the scroll frame. I do have a lap stand that goes with it, so that helps. And I have to be really focused on what I'm doing. So anyone who has advice on how to handle that, just let me know. Put it in the comments and let me know. But this is, again, the footprints in the sand is my oldest WIP, and that would be my second oldest WIP. Everything else has been started within the last 2.5 years. So I did pretty good as far as like finishing things when I started them beforehand, but then these ones kind of got out of hand. So we're at over an hour and 15 minutes. My voice is starting to give out from all the talking, so I do apologize for that. Thank you for bearing with me. It's been a month and a half. I really wanted to put out a video and be able to show my WIPs. I wanted to join in on all the fun that everyone's been doing. I have a lot of them, so I wanted to go ahead and do that. And also just pop in and say hello to everyone. Hopefully by the end of the month, I'll have another video that will just be, my normal flow of things. And so hopefully I can do that. And I won't have a shaky voice. That should be better by then, completely. So I hope to see you guys in a couple weeks. Thank you for sticking with me for this very long video and hanging out with me. Like I said, if you've got any advice for anything throughout the video, if you have any questions, feel free to write me a comment or send me a message on Instagram. I'll put my information in the box below. But I hope everyone is having a great 2022, able to get some stitching in, staying healthy, and I just hope and pray that everyone has a great next couple weeks as well until I see you again. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon.